Hi, this is Anthony from the Scale Model Podcast with a final reveal of the 172nd Moscato Hobby Models Quincy Rowe kit. This is the one of the bad guy power armors from the series Macross, or also known as Robotech in the U.S. and North America. So the actual name of the suit is the Queadluun Rowe, and it was the Meltrandi sort of female division powered armor. This kit is it was such a fun build. It did take quite a bit of time just because there was so much to it. It's a resin kit, and of course I had to light it. My theory on anime kits, because what you sort of see and fall in love with on the screen is sort of rendered in 2D, and it's not like watching a film where they can really do a lot of realistic the nuances. So I like to apply that type of realism. Like, what would these look like if they jumped off the screen and take that three-dimensional form? So I like to apply all the same ideas that aircraft modelers are using, that armor modelers are using, and so I sort of treated this as an opportunity to do kind of modern aircraft weathering. This There was many combat scenes in the film that were in outer space, also in the atmosphere. So it theoretically it would have a lot of that type of weathering, wear, damage, etc. Anyway, what a great kit! John Moscato patterned this, and he did just a terrific job. There was never any type of 72nd scale kit of this subject, and there is a lot of Macross models in that scale, so it's really nice to have something sort of correspond with it. Yeah, so I definitely had to light this kit. John was kind enough to include clear resin cast pieces in the sort of red. They had the red tint to them, so I took that opportunity to include some lights, which I think really bring it to life. And I can just turn it around here and show you. I did a little bit more lights on the in the back there. These ones didn't turn out as bright as I was hoping. I should have chosen a larger bulb. So looking back, things I could have done a little bit differently. But overall, I'm pretty happy with the finish. I tried to incorporate some exhaust staining, that typical kind of sort of bronzing and bluing that you find on highly heated metals near exhausts. So this being an alien design, really kind of I felt like I had a little bit of leeway to create different effects that I like, that kind of help bring it into the realm of possibility for me. Yeah, so I used Mr. Color lacquers for the main colors. I actually did cut out my own masks for the decals, from the decals rather, for the yellow striping, and I'll just put it right back around here. And I found that it was going to be a challenge doing decals on so many compound curves, so I thought, why not get that nice painted on look with actual paint, and I think it worked out pretty well. I did use the kit decals for the various symbols all around, and they went down pretty well. That was probably the hardest part, was just treating the decals and getting them to lie down flat. Not to say the decals weren't good; they were good, and they held up pretty well. They're just kind of a lot of curved surfaces, which was a challenge. So I was really excited about building this kit, so I decided to sort of upgrade some of the details. Obviously, the sculpt was really well done, and there was no real need to do that. I just kind of really always have a lot of fun with brass tubes, so I liked to I sort of cleared out the gun barrels and added aluminum rod, and same thing with the sort of guns on the sides there. I thought I would spruce them up, kind of the way I'd like to do them. Yeah, and various details here and there. Um, some other interesting things about this kit is that John actually included open parts for various openings. So these are big missile pods, and John actually sculpted the open position pods, which I haven't finished here, but you know, I'm a typical modeler, right? So I did it. Go ahead and include magnets on the inside. It was so easy because it's kind of a at the scale. It was a large opening. So let's see here. So and I had glued some magnets on the back. I used epoxy glue just so that it wouldn't be any kind of issue, but so they just snap into place, and so you could feature open missile pods, and also there's pods kind of on the legs, and he included the same parts. So kind of a fun feature, and just to show you how practical magnets are, if I can get this out now. Yeah, didn't think that through. Need a tool. Here we go. It just allows you a bit of flexibility for different display options. So I'm going to set those down. I'm going to pop this back in. So just a gorgeous kit, and I really had a lot of fun. I would like to give a couple thank yous to Terry Measley for giving me some help with some advice on some of the weathering and the exhaust staining. Also, my good friend Murray Press helped me, or double checked on my wiring, because I always tend to forget what I'm doing because it's so long in between. And of course, John Moscato for providing me this awesome piece to work on. And I think this kit, as far as I understand, is sort of out of production. It's being carried by Return to Kit Form, and I think they sort of sold all their stock. It's one of those garage kits where they can only do so many kits out of a mold. So I do recommend if you enjoy Macross or Robotech or any kind of science fiction anime stuff, I mean, if you can find a kit from John, and he does sell them online, a whole range of them, grab one. It's a good. They're really great. They really fit the role. They really look like they pop out of the animation. And you can check out Return to Kit Form for various kits. You can buy them directly from John himself if you're in North America. Yeah, they're really well done. And if you want to try something but you're not a huge Macross fan or Robotech, John has come up with his own sci-fi creation, sort of power armored kind of suit in 48th scale, called the M72 Gabriel, and that's another neat. It's another well engineered kit. Just to show you how big this thing is, I have a actual in-scale Valkyrie to go with it. I'm just going to move this a little bit here to show you a 72nd scale Valkyrie sort of in relation. So you can just sort of see how monstrous this this kit is. I'm just going to go ahead and pick this up, and you can kind of get the idea of I'll put them sort of closer together. It's kind of tough. This one was meant to be just on a deck, but yeah, it's a good size kit, and that's why it's so impressive. Now, that being said, I'll explain a little bit about the base. Because it was such a big kit, and as resin kits tend to be, they have a bit more weight to them. So I wanted to mount this in a flying position. It was kind of that sort of, to me, the sort of native state of it should be flying. It's sort of an aircraft, I guess, or pseudo aircraft. But I needed a really solid base, so I went ahead and made one out of oak. I had some beautiful oak lying around, and I wanted to also be able to disconnect the model from. So there's the inside. There's a switch for the lights. I'll zoom out and show you that. Comes back on. And a 9-volt battery, and so I just had to make sure I had the correct resistance for the kit's lighting. I'll go ahead and flip this around and show you kind of where the wiring is hiding. Now this kit sort of had this hollowed out section to keep the mold, or part of the molding, I would think. You can see there's the LEDs for the thrusters, and right there is an 1/8 inch stereo jack that I can unplug and take off the model from the base for storage or transportation, etc. And I added, this is just a magnet I added in and one on top so that it sort of clicks in. I just had to take advantage of that like opening. It was just a really perfect, it did take me a little bit of time to figure out how am I going to mount this thing, how will I connect it. I'll set that there like that. And it took a little bit of engineering to figure out a strong enough base. So I actually added weight on the inside of the box so that it wouldn't topple over or be top heavy. And then I had to add additional tubing inside this tube that would carry the wire, and then so it wouldn't be putting pressure on the wire or the connection. There's a female jack end mounted at the top of the tube. So tube's resting on a support inside the box, and then the wires are just inside, and they're held in there, but there's no pressure on them or the connection system. So there's a mating tube glued into the body of the model that the brass tube fits into, and then through that goes the jack with all the wiring. So I think it worked out pretty well. I was quite happy. This is the Zentradi livery or roundel, and I thought it would be cool to have the actual top that covers up the battery component box to have that. And just some labels mounted on the box, and it was a kind of a simple. I painted it black just to keep it simple, and but anyway, just a beautiful design, a well executed model. I had a lot of fun with the weathering. I used oils and also some AK products like aircraft engine grime, which I think are acrylic sort of pre-made washes. And so I did the chipping all with brushes, and I used Alclad for the metallics, and the colors are from Mr. Color. So yeah, I'm very happy how it's turned out, and I'm really happy I can share this with you guys. And again, check out John's work. Really spectacular, and he does a good job at sort of picking out the really neat sort of mecha designs, and some obscure ones as well. If you can hunt down those kits, they're really worth it. So yeah, again, great kit. Not exactly a beginner's kit, but went really well together for a resin garage kit. So I would say very high quality, because sometimes you don't always get a great kit. So listen, thanks for tuning in. It's Anthony here at SMP, and it's another miracle finishing a model. All right. So thanks for checking it out, and I hope you have a great day. Stay safe, take care of each other, and enjoy your models.